Hello, welcome to Coriole. My name is Peter Lloyd, General Manager.
Hi there, I'm Duncan Lloyd, winemaker.
It's going to be 41 degrees outside today, so we've retreated to the relative comfort of our cellar door, where we're going to quickly run you through some recent releases from our new Australian collection. The new Australian collection is built off wines that, whilst not new globally, are new to Australia, or relatively new to Australia, and many of them might have started Australian life here at Coriole. So first up, Negroamaro, which is a variety from Puglia in southern Italy. And often the examples we've seen this in the international market from Puglia are pretty rich, high alcohol, lots of body, lots of extract. Whereas for us, it's certainly not the style we see at all. We see a really ethereal, fragrant, perfumed, just medium-bodied red.
Negroamaro is grown on our Willunga vineyard, just on the outside of the township. Slightly different soils to here to Coriole, loam, alluvial, gravelly soils. Negroamaro is quite a late ripening variety, so one of the later varieties that we pick and bring into the winery. It's always extremely distinctive, all the way through fermentation and then looking at it throughout the winery. It has such a complex array of floral and herbal notes. It's quite an interesting one for the winery team. We're looking at to preserve all that just beautiful fragrance and freshness and vitality and some really interesting characters and flavours you can find in this wine.
If you found yourself short of red vermouth and we're looking to make a Negroni or a Negroni Sbagliato, you could actually probably use Negroamaro. It's that fragrant, it's got this beautiful bitter herb character and just a really evocative, lovely red wine. Great for warm weather. It can handle a chill, half an hour in the fridge before opening. And again, a wine that we've probably been producing for 5 or 6 years now and are very excited about. There are some viticultural challenges which we're working our way through, but notwithstanding that, we do imagine it's going to be a strong part of our future moving forward.
Interesting Campari-like notes. Still got nice fine length of tannin, but the Negroamaro and Nero probably both have that quality where they do have quite a softness of tannin, so will handle being put in the fridge for half an hour, and particularly on a 40-degree day like it is today. It's a great way to look at these wines.
Next up we have our Nero. Variety, of course, is Nero d'Avola. Sort of the main Sicilian red variety. Just been such a fantastic addition to Coriole's portfolio. I think our first release was maybe 2010. We've got 2 vineyards, one at the top of the hill, really exposed site, very windy. If we get hail, it's always going to be up there. And then one vineyard down at the bottom of the hill. So it's a very robust performer. It handles a large variation of weather conditions. And it can look, during flowering and then to fruit set, it can throw a rather uneven crop, if you like. But then by the time you come through to harvest, it can look beautiful. And so it gives you an insurance policy compared to some other varieties. This style, again, is about a wine of medium bodied and great fragrance and freshness. This wine has been particularly successful last year in picking up lots of gold medals and a trophy at Melbourne. You can see why, because it just leaps out of the glass and immediately draws you in.
Yeah, another one of those great varieties that's just got this immediate appeal. Soon after pressing and in the winery, it's just got all this beautiful fragrance and juiciness about the fruit. 2 vineyards, so we treat them a bit separately, and one gives us a bit more sort of body and fruit through the middle, whereas the vineyard at the top of the hill, slightly bonier soils on a lot of limestone, so it gives us a bit more of the sort of fragrance and complexity. So we do a bit of whole bunch fermentation as well from that vineyard, just to really highlight the fragrance and the lifted bison fruit characters that we can get out of this variety. Probably a little bit more on the plums and the raspberries and cherries that we see through this Nero, but again, that sort of beautiful softness of tannin, a fantastic summer drink.
It's absolutely glorious. Sangiovese, so the great variety of Tuscany. We've been producing this since 1987. Now this is a blend of a collection of vineyards, so from about 5 or 6 vineyards across the district. Not only different soil types, but also different clones. So we work with maybe 5 or 6 different soil types, 6 or 7 different clones, and we love the diversity that brings and really helps us to create the house style year in, year out. It is a more delicate variety than, say, Shiraz or Cabernet, and having this large variation of clones and soil types helps to even out some of that vintage variation that we might see otherwise. So this style is exactly what we're looking for. It's about 14% alcohol, which we really are much less than that, and we're not getting full flavour ripeness. Lovely fresh acidity, beautiful, astute, quite proud, chalky tannin, and still just medium bodied.
Yeah, it's a really important variety for us, and importantly for our winery kind of logistics, we often start off with Shiraz, and at the tail end of Shiraz we start picking Sangiovese, and we do quite a bit of Sangiovese, so it's nice to have that spread to help us in the winery. So we end up with about 5 different vineyard sites, but probably about 12 to 14 different parcels that we pick and ferment separately for the Sangiovese, and then it's really a great blending time when we go to putting all that together. I think that gives us great consistency year in, year out. As mentioned, it's really about just getting that sort of more medium body, a bit more savoury than say the Negroamaro and the Nero, and that's an important part of the wine. And then also just that step up in tannin, so a bit more structure. It's really made to be had with food, and a fantastic accompaniment to a vast array of dishes, really, because it's got that beautiful acidity, but also that just fine tannin as well.
Yeah, both the Negroamaro and the Nero you can quite happily enjoy on their own, but this is certainly a wine that comes alive with food. Lastly, Montepulciano. So again, something we've been growing for 25 years or so, and the variety of central Italy really, and it's also grown further south. And out of the four, it's probably, it is the wine that gives the most heft, richness and weight. So it's sort of full-bodied and taken half a step back, if you like. In some ways shares some similarities with savoury styles of Shiraz. We love it for its viticultural reliability. It's by far the latest ripening variety. A very strong, reliable performer, and creates a lovely, savoury expression of red.
It's great to sort of look at these wines in a lineup, and you just sort of see that increase in intensity of tannin and that sort of real heavy fruit flavours, and an increase in sort of tannin and structure, sort of a broader structure in this Montepulciano. So a really interesting variety for the future and from McLaren Vale. As mentioned, it does very well in the warmer conditions, but yeah, it is extremely late ripening, but also holds on to a great acidity as well.
That point about being extremely late is very helpful for a small winery like us. With our varietal selection, to be able to stretch our season. If we were, say, 90% Shiraz and Cabernet, like a lot of wineries traditionally would have been in McLaren Vale, everything might ripen in a 2 or 3 week period. So you have bottlenecks throughout your production facility at every point, and the whole thing can come apart very quickly. We start picking with, say, Chenin Blanc in a few weeks' time. We won't pick this probably until
mid-April,
mid
to late April.
And we have a variety sort of slotting in every week between now and then. So that's great. It really gives us the ability to give each variety the care and attention it warrants without feeling constantly rushed and under pressure to process large amounts of the same variety in a very short period of time. So for rather different wines, all with their beautiful savoury expression, pronounced tannin, pronounced acidity, but all quite different in their own right as well.
Yeah, really encourage you to have a look at some of these wines next to each other and really see that diversity of style, and I think it makes a lot of sense to what we're sort of trying to achieve and what we can achieve with these pretty interesting varieties.
Thanks very much.
So, cheers.
Cheers.